I will choose to stay here with Dallas. A number of reasons of this is that I really can't leave at this particular time. I feel that I have as many advantages here. I still think I have a great career in Dallas. I have very many loyal friends here, and I think that at this particular time I don't want to leave. I choose to stay here and still be a winner with the Cowboys.
Greg, does this decision mean that you might be fighting for the #1 position next season?
I definitely will be fighting for it.
How much did the advice of friends have to do in this decision?
Well, Verne, I don't, of course, most of my friends wanted me to stay. I haven't talked to too many people that came up to me and said, Craig, you got to leave. It had something to do with it, but it was my decision. It's something that I'm really happy to live with. I feel that I still can compete here for the #1 job. I know it's going to be a very difficult task because Roger did have a great year, and I congratulate him on all the great achievements that he did achieve. I hope someday I can achieve equally. But I want to compete with Roger still, and I want to still make Dallas. Many people are talking about a dynasty in Dallas. I think that I can help create this, and this is what I choose to do.
Craig, is this a 1-year decision?
No, it's not. It's just my decision, right, at this particular time, just for my future.
Well, I don't know. I have to wait and see, but I know it wasn't bad. Might be pretty hard, but I kind of like to prove a point that I can, that it can be done.
Did you recruit him? Well, that's a matter of opinion. Seems like Randy against me, so I don't know. Randy just told me a few minutes ago before the interview started that it was love at first sight, so I guess it's better than love.
You've been pretty much touted as one of the best that we've had coming out of the high schools the past few years. What's your feeling on a new NCAA rule as far as playing as a freshman? Are you going to really go all out to play as a freshman? Do you think you can do it?
Well, first thing I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make the team, and then if I'm able to play, I'll try for that.
What problems do you think you're going to have in getting ready to play for this college team? You're used to high school football. You think you're going to have to learn a great deal more now than just the old rough, tough football that you played in high school?
I think the only problem is being able to accept the new punishment that I'm going to be getting.
The new punishment? You think you're going to get that much?
I know I am.
A child abuse case was reported to me several weeks ago at 5:15 one evening. The caller said that the 3 children were badly burned, needed food, slept on the floor like animals. The mother drank and left them alone. The children had come to her asking for help, and she called Contact Aid, wondering what could be done. This problem was solved. However, this is not an isolated instance. There are several cases of child abuse reported in the Dallas-Fort Worth area weekly. I talked to Dr. Neil West of Children's Medical Center about this and asked him to describe some of his cases.
An abused child is not only the child who is deprived of food and the normal requirements for a happy life, but the child who may be physically abused. These children can be have such minor things as small cigar burns, or they will be found to have many whiplashes from, say, a cord, or they may have fractures of bones which are unusual in their description as to the way they occurred.
I also talked to Harriett Stambaugh, who's director of social work at Children's Medical Center. She's also an expert on child abuse. Is there a facility for child abuse in the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
No, there isn't. Unfortunately, when children are abused and need to be removed from their home, they're sent to the child welfare shelter, which, as you know, is already crowded. And we do not have a facility in this area. There's a great need for this, however.
Where can you report child abuse if you suspect it?
You can call child welfare. That number is ME74020.
What are the statistics in the Dallas-Fort Worth area on child abuse?
the most conservative studies would indicate that there's about 20,000 children a year assaulted in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Mrs. Stambaugh also said that they usually only see a child 3 times at the hospital. The 3rd time, the child comes in dead. If you know of any child abuse cases or you suspect a child abuse case, call ME74020. That's the number for child abuse. If you have any further problems concerning contact aid, call 263-3404. I'm Jeanne Luppen.
Buddy, you just got off the plane and
I know that. What do you think? Wouldn't I know that I got off the plane?
Well, they've been having a lot of trouble with skyjackers lately and also have put in some new screening techniques. Did you get frisked?
No, I didn't. Nothing. I didn't even have a thing where you walk through a metal detector or anything like that. But I always wondered, if there was a skyjacking, what I would do.
What would you do?
Grab the woman next to me. I would
And?
And do all the good stuffs I can do. And I said, I couldn't help it. I was so flustered about what was going on.
Maybe that might deter the hijacker, huh? That's a new
I don't care.
technique.
He could do what he wants as long as he don't interfere with what I'm doing.
As you probably know, the Progressive Voters League is a state-chartered organization within the framework of the Democratic Party of Texas, and it is constitutionally bound by its constitution to follow constitutional procedures in the endorsement of all candidates. And this year, as in the past 35 years, this same procedure will be followed, which means the interviewing of candidates from the entire spectrum of Democratic candidates who desire the support of the league. And following this interview, there will be a careful study made by the Political Action Committee to weigh the facts that have been gathered. And based upon these facts, the organization as a whole will determine the endorsements that the league will make. Naturally, a procedure of this nature could not begin until after all of the candidates had filed, which was only yesterday.
There's no question in my mind, not only that I can and will fairly maintain the position, but I feel that, in fact, it is a right and a necessity that I stay on the board, because one of the major objectives of this agency is to give everyone the opportunity, including the indigent and poor, to interact with and be a part of our political system. It seems to me quite absurd and ironic that at this time, when I am attempting now to exercise my political right as an individual, that I should be questioned for the very thing which I'm defending the right of others, including the most poor, the right to be active in the political system.
Well, the poor people generally rely on the more liberal Democrat to give them what they want or feel that they need. Do you feel, after filing as a Republican, that you will still have the same rapport with the poor that you did before?
My activities of the past, both in business and in this agency, I think clearly indicate both to the community, the poor, and the average citizen of Dallas that I'm interested in the individual, and I'm not interested in the label one kind or another. And I have fought and maintained my position, both with this board and other activities, that I will defend the individual and his rights, including board members, as I have in the past against all kinds of charges.
What is the first information you got regarding this crash?
We received a telephone call from the Meacham Tower to our office at the Federal Building to the effect that the airplane was Mayday, Mayday, that the controls were frozen.
That sort of call means an emergency of some sort, right?
Yes, on 122.12.5.
Then what's the next step as far as you know?
The next step that we pursued was to immediately pursue to the scene where we are now.
What happens now here?
Investigate if we're document all we can document, and to determine what cause, if any, if we can find at the scene.
What is the normal procedure when a Mayday comes out from when Meacham received that? What do they probably do then?
Well, they notify our flight service station, the tower does, and then we stand by and wait for the Civil Air Patrol or somebody to tell us where the airplane's, if he has crashed, where he crashed.
How was this plane found?
I'm not sure. I think it was either the Civil Air Patrol or the Fort Worth Police Department